every time I buy a Bitcoin or Tesla stock, and poof, it blows up in my face. Should have waited another week. Elon's just destroying the markets right now. Seems to be a really mixed, volatile moment. So today I thought it would be fun to not only go over this news, which has probably been jammed down your throat, so I'm going to briefly summarize it, but we're going to dive down into my six-figure brokerage account. And luckily, I've just been stacking a lot of cash, and I'm going to be buying some dips that I'm going to talk about, not just in the crazy stuff with the Tesla and the Bitcoin, but some other stocks that I would like to touch base on, and maybe even pass some questions off to you what you guys think I should be buying, because it's a pretty interesting state that we are currently sitting in here, folks. But Jim Cramer from CNBC just did a really quick rundown of this tweet storm that happened over the weekend that literally caused this massive destruction in the Bitcoin price and unfortunately the Tesla price as well. So take a listen. Hold up a minute. Sorry, that was actually from my Facebook stock news page where I share memes and funny humor surrounding the stock news to kind of enlighten the insanity that's going on around these clickbait head titles. If you want to support the channel a little bit, go on over to my new Facebook page, folks. I'd appreciate you hitting that little like button there. But sorry, let's get back into the actual news that came from CNBC.
Take a look at Elon Musk's tweets from over the weekend, clarifying some speculation, Jim, that he had instructed Tesla to sell some Bitcoin. He had tweeted in response to another tweet the word "indeed" about how frustrated he must be about the Bitcoin community. Just a reminder of how much the market cap overall is being swayed by really one-word tweets from one man.
I mean, especially given the fact that Square lost 20 million, David, in just kind of a heartbeat. And I think that a lot of people hang on Musk's every word. He is brilliant, but I felt from the beginning when he was on SNL with Dogecoin, Carl, that people have to understand that this is a dice roll.
I'm aware. I know.
It's like a good horse. I mean, I'm just saying that there are people who know it has scarcity, and I think it's very positive. But at the same time, if it can be moved by a tweet, that's not the U.S. dollar, which is often maligned by people who like Bitcoin.
I don't think what Jim Cramer said made any sense, really. He says you're betting on a horse with cryptocurrency. Yes, guy, your Bitcoin's going to be the best horse, and it's a speculative investment by nature because somebody has to be willing to pay more than you are down the road than what you initially paid for it. Yes, I understand that, Jim, but what you said that didn't make any sense is how are you comparing crypto to the USD? You're like, oh, well, no one's going to tweet about the USD and you're going to watch it. That's because the USD is worth $50 trillion, and the only person making it volatile is the head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, who's been printing money like it's been candy, deflating your dollar, causing mass inflation and destruction of basic prices. And guys, Jim Cramer, that was a bad reference, my guy. That was a bad comparison reference. Now, in the short term with the volatility surrounding Bitcoin, I think this is going to be a personal buying opportunity. In my humble opinion, I would not touch Doge with a 10-foot pole. I don't know if Elon's actually going to liquidate their Bitcoin. Nobody has actually said that except for Forbes and every major outlet that I am so surprised that these really, high-end investing outlets for news, you think you would trust them, but when you see these headlines like, Tesla is going to they might be selling their Bitcoin from this tweet and whatever, and it's all because of coal inefficiencies, and Bitcoin, is a waste of energy, and it doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, we all know Bitcoin is a high driver of energy, but it's kind of like a double-edged sword because obviously as we move toward renewable energy, it's kind of like the solution to the same problem. Everything, whether it's a car-related thing, your house power, guys, it's all the same problem. I don't know why we're shining such a big light on the consumption of energy with Bitcoin, which as we head to renewables, that problem is going to slowly fade. And we're already seeing people like Kevin O'Leary making big investments into companies that are more natural energy focused when it comes to actually mining the crypto itself. So keep that in mind. I would honestly see this as much more of a buying opportunity. In fact, my girlfriend just bought her first bit of Bitcoin yesterday. I am likely going to be buying a little bit more going into the next couple days here, probably at these levels. I kind of like it at these low 40 levels, but still, how about this? Well, let's get into my actual brokerage account. Let's talk about some stocks, some dividends, and see what the heck is going on here because currently my account's actually not as bad off as I would have initially anticipated when I looked at the total valuation. I think I'm down like $3 or $4 grand today, and in the scope of the whole portfolio, fairly incremental because I was down way more last week, but that's probably because some of the other stocks are coming back a little bit. But taking a look sitting on $938 in CAD here. And I'm actually going to be getting a lot more payments in this account, because if we just go into my dividend income, I was kind of shocked to see how much was being paid out literally today, because we got Northland Power paying out May 17th, which we're going to be getting. And then if we scroll down, BTI is going to be a nice chunky payment because it's 1600 or 615 US today that should be coming out. And then we also have Stag Industrial, which is going to be paying out today, which is going to be well over 1,000 Canadian dollars, probably close to 1,000 US dollars, in fact, to be investing in my tax-free savings account, all that 100% tax-free income in this account. So what I'm going to likely do is I'm stuck on the border basically between buying Stag, which I really don't want to because it's already trading really up in highs. It's not at any near close to discounted levels. So what I'm going to probably do is add a brand new position to the portfolio, one that I've mentioned so many dozens of times here, but that of course being Hydro One. Now Hydro One, not the highest paying dividend stock in the world, but it trades at an incredibly fair valuation in my opinion that will add continued stability to my portfolio. Obviously no explosive growth, but I'm looking for dividend income in this portfolio specifically. Now in my other accounts, however, I am still transferring all of my regular stocks, my dividend stocks, over to another brokerage account from here, but this is my corporate account where I'm only really trying to focus on two things: growth and ETFs primarily, like really stabilizing ETFs like VOO or QQQ, and I haven't added those back yet. I do have a lot of cash though. I have 500 Canadian dollars in here, and I'm probably going to throw in a couple grand, likely probably in the next day or two. That does not mean I'm going to pull the trigger today or tomorrow. I'm just going to be patient with it depending on how I feel today or tomorrow. We'll see where it goes from here. But I am very inclined to finish buying off my Tesla position, which like I said, as soon as I buy it, it falls off a cliff, down $2,000, down 16% since I bought it at that 660, 670 range. Yeah, 677 per share. So I'm probably going to buy at least at a minimum of 2 more shares to round off back to having 20 shares in Tesla. Whether I buy more will be debatable, because I'm going to leave that cash to probably continue scaling into some newer positions as well. I still want to buy back my Qs, and I don't know if I want to just buy a stabilizer like VOO just to keep rounding off the portfolio, because I don't think you should be just shuffling all of your money into one thing, whether it's aggressive growth or just dividend stocks. It's about finding this beautiful balance. Am I right, guys? Just trying to level the whole portfolio out. And lately, these are the only 2 stocks I put in my corporate account, being Tesla and Facebook. So yes, I'm very excited to get the cash in here and figure out what I'm doing with that. But I'm very thankful that I've taken a big breath back from the market, because now I have an opportunity to take advantage of these dips when I feel it to be suitable. And just taking a look at the broader markets on my StockTwits trading account here, folks, it is a broad mix. The whole markets aren't like crashing or anything like that. It's primarily just Bitcoin sitting around 43,600. A bit of the tech selling off, taking, Tesla down with it. But across the broader view, I don't think it's that bad, guys. The whole markets are generally just trending sideways. And this is when I'm so thankful to be a proud, dividend investor, focus 70% of my portfolio on dividend and cash flow, because in these situations like this, when the tech stocks and your growth stocks are selling off, you can really use that extra income to basically start cost averaging down, or even picking up dips in new companies that you find interesting. And in light of all of this, folks, this is where I currently sit on this wonderful Monday afternoon. And I love this interesting market we're in, and the fact that a guy named Elon Musk can sit behind a desk and make really simple, like little half-sentence phrases that move stock valuations and crypto valuations by literally hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. It's a weird world we live in, isn't it? So I pass the question off to you. Let me know what you think in that comment section below. And again, I would appreciate if you can join me on my new Facebook stock news page, because there, I'm just going to be sharing some funny, interesting stuff. So stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to catching you tomorrow.